Okay, so let's go over the patch notes one by one. I've got the list pulled up here, and then we can... I try to always talk about what I think they're trying to achieve with the patch notes. Specifically, like in the last patch, I noticed they were trying to kind of reduce some of the damage output of support compositions so that triple support wasn't as oppressive in terms of damage dealt. So we'll take that as an example. And hang on here. Okay, so the first adjustment, Angela. Asgard's assassin is swifter and sturdier than ever. Angela's survivability and mobility get a slight boost. Reduce assassin's charge cooldown from 6 seconds to 4 seconds.
That's her shift.
Yeah, that's her dash. In shielded stance, increase shield value from 300 to 350. Upon canceling the shield, increase shield recovery rate from 50 per second to 60 per second. Reduce the interval between shield uses from 1.5 seconds to 1 second.
Despite my name, I am no angel, as our foes will soon learn.
So basically, you're charging more often. Right there. That's all right. If you don't burn your entire meter, you can get, do another dash shortly thereafter. The big thing to me is the shield. As someone who played 7 hours of Angela this season, I would go in, I would shield, and I would try to move a little bit, and I would try to shield again, and I couldn't shield right away because it was 1.5 seconds. So that's going to help a lot. Plus having more shield obviously is going to help. She also gets spear charge from when you hit her shield. So if she's just kind of hanging around and then trying to poke and then going back to shield, she can charge her spear up better once again. So that's definitely going to help her.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a good move in terms of increasing her survivability. Because a lot of times what I feel like anyways, I haven't played much Angela at all, but what it feels like is she's more of an irritant than anything else.
Yeah, especially this season when it's so brawl heavy. That's kind of how I used her. It was just as a mosquito. She's pretty effective that way, but having a little bit better defensive utility is going to help her do that better. She can stay in longer, be a little bit more aggressive, and not die as easily. So you'll get more value out of her that way. Next, it's Dino time.
Oh boy.
Looks like Moon Girl needs to put her big buddy on a slight diet. We're reducing Dino's damage, survivability, and crowd control to better balance the experience for other vanguards facing him. Remove the knockdown effect from Beam.
Ooh.
Oh. He no longer hard counters flyers. Wait, that's huge in and of itself. Increase buddy barrier cooldown from 10 seconds to 12 seconds.
Okay. Still the same health?
Reduce the percentage damage per second of the bleed effect from 3% to 1.5%.
Wow.
They cut bleed in half. Oh, wow. Like that's not a, mess around nerf. That is a nerf. He's still going to be good, but he's still going to be good, but that is a huge nerf. And think about, he gets overshield from the bleed that he applies. He's going to get way less overshield now. Think about that.
Yeah.
That is huge. You've played more Dino than me. Is that too much? I think it's about right.
We'll have to wait and see what happens. It feels like it might be a bit much, but that could just be, expectations of, they're nerfing a character pretty hard that it might just completely tank him. It could be that Dino's just so far above and beyond everything else that will bring him into, instead of completely busted, into more like a solid A tier character.
Yeah, because right now he's best in slot, He's the best tank in the game right now. So basically, if he's available, you have to play him, and the meta revolves around him, which speaks to how good he is. He's not like super hard oppressive. He's just that strong.
Well, you say that, but if I know what I'm doing here, I can get basically 1,200 damage thanks to overhealth just from biting these two
They have been
Galactobots.
seen and they will not
That's part of what makes Dino so insane. Yes, he has limited mobility, he has limited range. I mean, his beam only goes 15 meters.
Bro, Magneto is next. Listen to this. The mutant revolution will not be stopped. We're increasing the functionality and threat level of Magneto's ultimate.
Really?
Increase Meteor M ultimate ability maximum duration from 4 seconds to 5 seconds. Increase damage dealt when fully charged from 300 to 350. So he can hold his meatball up in the air longer, and when he slams down, it comes with extra sauce.
That's one way to put it. So, Magneto gets a better ult. Interesting.
Nature itself bends to my will.
That's
disappointing.
Really, really interesting. He can shut down basically an entire Star-Lord ult now. If he just holds it up. Star-Lord would have to overload the ult to get any kind of damage off while he's ulting.
How long does it last?
5 seconds. Star-Lord ult is like 7 seconds, I think. How long is Star-Lord ult?
It's an endless universe. But somehow...
8 seconds. Once he can start firing, it's 8 seconds. So you could shut down most of it. Now, come get... let me turn on friendly fire. I want to see if I can overload it, and if so, how much I can get out of my ultimate. Okay, so I'm going to see how much I can kill when I ult, and you're going to counter me with mag ult, and I'm just going to keep shooting.
Hold on, I need to get my ult back.
You can just turn off ability cooldowns.
Oh,
Okay,
they do
ready?
not look happy.
Hold on. I turned off ability cooldown. Alright.
Let's try this again.
Okay, let's do that with
You
that.
didn't overload it, it timed out.
It hit 5 seconds.
Do it again.
Oh, did you see that?
About
Remember,
two.
we're not playing the patched version.
That's 4 seconds. So you can already shut down most of my ult. You could shut down basically the entire thing. So I went from going to getting 2 elims on a mag ult to 1. But then I'm also loading mag ult so you can just nuke my team
Can't
at
keep
the
me
same
down for
time.
long.
That's like he already was a great counter to Star-Lord. That's going to be even better.
Oh boy, here they come.
I mean, bro still has 50 in a clip. Let's not pretend he doesn't have 50 in a clip. Okay, there's a manual on Black Cat, so we're gonna have to get to that in a second. We got Rogue yet.
Alright, switch to Rogue.
Anna gets a slight increase in her mobility and survivability. Decrease the cooldown of Fatal Attraction from 14 seconds to 12 seconds. That's her F. That's her ability steal.
So that was reduced, you said?
Yeah. If you miss F, I think it's 14 seconds, but if you hit it, it's like 20 or 22. Reduce energy consumption when using defensive stance from 60 per second to 50 per second, so she'll be able to hold her block a little bit longer.
Okay.
Increase absorbed damage energy conversion ratio from 35% reflect damage to 55% reflect damage. So when she blocks, you'll get a second meter that shows up. So the first meter that shows up is how long she can hold the block. It's kind of like Angela's dash bar, right? If you start taking damage while you're blocking, it fills a second bar that's yellow that you can then use to power up your lunge afterwards. So she's going from 35% damage boost on that to 55%. Plus, she'll be able to charge it further. Part of the problem with Rogue is she theoretically does 1 billion damage, but in order to do that damage, she has to seriously fill up that that meter.
Yeah.
And she takes a ton of damage doing that, and she can, like, never fill it up. So it was either give her better damage reduction on her block so she could face tank more in a crowd and then deal out some serious punishment afterwards, or make it so she doesn't have to fill the meter as far, and that's what they went with. So that's pretty good. She can block a little bit longer, she gets more damage out of her block, she can use her F more often, which is one of her best utilities because she can use it to shut down her... Fatal Attraction is F, yeah? No, F is ability absorption. Fatal Attraction is the shift. It's this. So she'll be able to do that more often. That's... Okay, what's the cooldown on her E, though? I need to see what the cooldown on her E is.
Ain't gonna pass up another chance to win.
10 seconds. So she can do her go-to combo a little bit more often. Plus, if she burns everything and then gets defensive inside, she can get out 2 seconds earlier if she tries to stay in for that whole length of time.
Well, look who's up to no good.
So she could shift, E, and then hold her block, click, mix it up just a little bit, and then get out. I think that's at least a good place to start. I don't think it's enough to make her great without the Gambit team-up, but she's pretty mediocre at best without the Gambit team-up, so that's at least a step in the right direction, if nothing else. You'll definitely feel it if you're a Rogue player, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Black Cat. I have never played Black Cat. We're increasing the fortune cost to purchase relics, decreasing her fortune acquisition efficiency, and lowering her survivability and damage.
Wow. That's a pretty thorough nerf.
Reduce Cat's Cradle damage from 50 to 40. What's Cat's Cradle?
That's her shift.
Oh, that's her BP dash. Remove one charge, changing it to a cooldown, and reduce the cooldown from 10 seconds to 8 seconds. So she can't do it twice. She can do it once every 8 seconds.
Interesting.
Reduce Phantom Pursuit.
Let me turn off the ability cooldown.
Reduce Phantom Pursuit damage from 75 to 70. So that's when she pulls up her menu, she can do the invulnerable dash. So that does 5 less damage. Increase the fortune cost for Chernobog's Crystal, Ring of Zona, and Mento Fish. Those are her 3... No, that's not... Wait, that's... What's the invisibility?
I don't mind playing hero, as long as I get something out of it.
I think.
Helm of Hades is the...
Let's make a deal.
Okay. So, I want to see a Helm of Hades nerf on here. I don't see it right now. Increase fortune cost for Chernobog's Crystal, Ring of Zona, and Mento Fish from 200 to 300. Increase the fortune cost for Faltine Flame Orb from 100 to 300. And it can no longer reveal enemies behind objects. It needs line of sight to reveal enemies. Thank you. Reduce calling card ultimate ability dash targeting distance from 60 meters to 40 meters. Participating in eliminations no longer refreshes the remaining duration. Instead, it adds 3 seconds to the current remaining time up to a maximum of 10 seconds.
Ah, so it's not endless like a Bucky ult.
So she can't just hold on to it and shut your whole team down for 10 seconds. She can get 1 or 2 picks, and she'll keep chaining as long as she stays super aggressive and can keep close, but she'll have to hit a little bit harder. Increase the ultimate second hit base damage from 30 to 70, but remove the percentage damage for 250 health enemies. Total damage of 2 attacks is reduced from 110 to 100. For 600 health enemies, total damage of 2 attacks is reduced from 180 to 100. Additionally, reduce the fortune gained from this attack from 300 to 200. She's still going to be crazy, especially with her Helm of Hades not getting touched. She's going to be an absolute stealth assassin still, because that's the one super busted part of her kit that they didn't touch. she'll be less oppressive, and it's going to cost her more to stay up, which is a good thing. So she's probably still very bannable. She just won't be as crazy. Okay, next. Oh, there's Daredevil Nurse on here too. Thank you. We'll go with Blade first. And I have Blade right on the edge of Centurion, so I've been playing a lot of Blade recently. We've slightly increased Blade's close-range combat capabilities. Increased the unstoppable duration provided after each use of Scarlet Shroud from 0.4 seconds to 1 second.
That's his right-click in Scarlet Shroud.
Yeah. So what happens is when he first casts his Scarlet Shroud, which is his block.
No one's coming back from the grave on my watch.
When he first casts his block for the first half a second, he is unstoppable.
Slice and dice.
So watch, hit right click and watch your health bar glow.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
That golden flash means you're completely CC and displacement immune.
Slice and dice.
You can't be eaten by Jeff Ultimate. You can't be Eye of Agamotto. Like, that's what I usually use it for. You can block, say, Magic Uppercut Slice or Widow Grapple. You could block the kick or the grapple, but you're better off blocking the grapple. Well in Sword Stance. Increase the initial hit of Daywalker Dash from 20 to 30, and increase the damage percent from 8 to 10. Total damage increased from 52 to 70. So while he's in Bloodline Awakening, and he does the Daywalker Dash. Okay, what if he does this? Yeah, okay, so it's the same. So what you're going to do is you're going to be in Bloodline Awakening, which is your E form, where you start glowing red.
Yeah.
You're going to shift onto people, and you're going to, instead of doing 52 damage, I think it said, you're going to do 70 when you dash in. So part of Blade's thing, part of his problem is he has trouble securing kills. He can get people really low, but he has trouble finishing them off sometimes. So what I used to do is I would shift in and start slicing like this, and then just hold left click because there was no reason to ever shift again. Before his recent changes, not this one, but the one before, you would your shift would do more damage, and so you could burst. You could like shift and absolutely mow somebody over. So now if you use both of your shift charges, that's 140 damage. That's half of a Squishy's health bar in 2 shifts, plus they're anti-healed. But now you can't get out. But it allows him to more easily secure picks by giving him that slight bit more damage. Plus, it's going to help him with his openings, if nothing else. That's good. It will not make him meta. It's not enough to make him meta.
No.
But I think he's like high C, low B tier right now.
It's definitely a step towards usability.
He's probably solid B right now. A solid B tier. What's a B tier hero? Who's on my tier list? I don't share my tier list on this channel, but at least not yet. What did I have as a B tier hero that I think would be comparable? Iron Fist. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good comp. I think he'd be about as good as Iron Fist in the meta. Some people say Iron Fist is A tier. I mean, it depends on who he's facing. But that's at least a place to start. Okay. That's definitely going to feel good. You've been learning Daredevil, so let's go through the Daredevil changes.
When you say I've been learning Devil, you mean I've been selling on Daredevil.
The man without fear will need to rely a bit more on his other senses now. We're reducing Daredevil's ability to scout enemy team positions while roaming the outskirts, and lowering his engagement distance and post-engagement survivability. Reduce Radar Sense's maximum detection range from 50 meters to 40 meters. What's his Radar Sense?
That's going to be his passive, I think. Yeah, detect enemy movements within a set radius.
And I'd gladly do it again if it helps.
So you'll have less distance where you can see people behind walls.
So let me
remember, you can see them behind walls.
Yeah, I can still see you. I can still see you.
Like,
Our
this
enemies
is...
are near.
I'm all
I
the
can
way
feel
over
them.
on the bounce pad.
Okay, I can't see you anymore.
That's how far away I have to... I have to go all the way down into that little hole where the bounce pad is for you to not see me. That will also reduce his ability to ping you from a significant distance away. Reduce sonic pursuit. That's his ping, isn't it? His dash targeting distance from 20 meters to 12 meters. So he has to be almost twice as close to dash to somebody. So what's 12 meters? Stand at that line. Stand on the back line. I would have to be this close to dash to you.
That's reasonable.
Instead of this close to dash to you. And reduce objection. That's his block. Duration from 1.5 seconds to 1.2 seconds.
Okay.
That's same as Iron Fist block now. He doesn't get overshield from it, but he gets to reflect projectiles.
getting closer.
Iron Fist doesn't reflect projectiles, but he gets overhealth from it. Oh, I forgot. I changed my button
Justice
assignment.
never rests.
For me, it's 4. Yeah, your Daredevil's definitely better than mine. Go figure. Okay, Elsa Bloodstone. Elsa is getting an increase to her instinct accumulation speed and a slight bump to her baseline performance. Elsa's going to go back to being a permaban, I think. Reduce the damage required to upgrade the passive skill Inherited Instinct from 1,667 to 1,111. The damage to rating conversion multiplier is increased from 0.0006 to 0.0009. So she's going to get her instinct much more easily. So she's going to hit her maximum state far more
I can
quickly.
hear them getting closer.
I'm definitely going to have to finish learning Elsa next season because she is going to be stupid.
I demand a retrial.
This was a bad decision. I'm just going to say it. This was a bad decision. Bare minimum, she needed no changes. She was already a solid A-tier hero. Some people were saying potentially still an S-tier hero. I'm not sure I was quite there, but I definitely see the argument. But no, a buff on Elsa is beyond stupid. This was just bad.
Yeah, I don't feel like she needed a buff. She was already good.
Human Torch is getting a buff. We're slightly increasing Human Torch's mobility. Oh, thank God they're reducing his cooldowns. That was my biggest complaint when I was playing Human Torch. Reduce Flaming Meteor cooldown from 20 seconds to 15 seconds. That's both one of his movement abilities and his best kill tool, arguably. So he can do it once every 15 seconds instead of once every 20. That's going to feel much better. Reduce Plasma Body single charge energized time from 10 seconds to 8 seconds. Also going to feel much better. The thing about Human Torch is he's like this mobility-based hero. And his mobility kind of sucks.
Back up.
His shift is on far too long. Is that his plasma body?
Yeah.
It's on far too long of a cooldown.
It feels awful, doesn't it?
And he moves so slowly without it. I mean, look at that. Who moves faster, Daredevil walking or Torch
It's the
flying
same.
without plasma body?
It's the same. Look. All flyers move at 6 meters per second. Storm can activate wind mode, which gives her some kind of movement speed boost. I'm not sure exactly what it is. Iron Man has his thrusters, which operate on a meter. That is better than Torch's. And Torch gets to use a cooldown to move faster, similar to Ultron's.
Our enemies are near.
But all the fighters are 250 health, 6 meters per second base movement speed. Except for Angela.
Just
Okay, Moon Knight.
Oh boy, I assume he's getting nerfed?
Khonshu demands a bit more precision from his avatar. They're increasing this. It sounds like they're trying to increase the skill expression of Moon Knight. Mark is getting a reduction to his damage capabilities. Reduce Crescent Dart single shot damage from 25 to 33. Or 23, sorry. 25 to 23. So Crescent Dart is his left click. He throws 3 of them. So it was 75 damage, and now it's going to be 69 damage. Reduce Moonblade damage from 80 to 70.
That's his right click.
Is that going to change his one-shot combo?
How much
70
damage
plus
is-
70 plus 69.
Okay, first off, one-shot combo is left click, right click, left click, right?
Yeah, I think it's E, left click, right click, left click.
So, how much health does Daredevil have?
300.
Okay. So switch to somebody that has more health.
More health?
Yeah, so we can see what the upper end of this is.
I'll just do someone that's got, I think this is 600? 700. 750. Okay, so here's 750 health.
We'll step over here. So I can throw the Ankh.
So as of right now, you got me down to 387. 375 would have been half of my health. So that's still pretty good damage. 375.
Now, how much are they lowering the numbers by?
6 total damage per left click, 10 damage per right click.
Here we go
So
again.
it's going to go down by 22. It's going to go down by 22. So from 375 to 355. That makes it
those are the
hyper
bad
precise on 350 health targets.
Yeah.
And it gives people that are under that a little bit more time to get out of his Ankh's range before he
What
finishes
do these
his
Ankhs
one-shot
do
combo.
anyway?
The other thing
Okay.
is you get more damage if you do direct hits instead of Ankh hits. The Ankh version of the one-shot combo is probably not true anymore. Namor.
Oh boy.
The King of Atlantis commands the tides with greater frequency. Namor's monstro spawns are getting a slight coverage increase. Increase the aquatic dominion cooldown reduction granted when Trident of Neptune hits enemies from 1 second per strike to 1.3 second per strike. So when he lands his left clicks, it takes less time for him to get his turrets back up.
Again?
And so now, instead of
creatures
1
must be under
second each
Namor's
time he lands a
command.
strike, it's 1.3 seconds each time he lands a strike.
They definitely look hostile.
So Namors that can hit their left clicks are going to be better.
I have to get this
Turret
right
merchants
this
won't
time.
feel the difference. I don't think he needed a buff, if I'm being honest. I know it's a brawl meta. He hasn't been meta, but it's a brawl meta. Like, that's the one time he shouldn't be good. He didn't need a buff if the meta shifts, right?
Yeah. I mean, I've been playing Namor. He's been fine, even in just straight up brawl comps. So, I
Oh.
mean, it's not an insane buff, but it is something that I don't really feel like you needed.
They are nerfing Phoenix. The cosmic flames are burning a little less brightly from afar. We're slightly reducing Jean's flanking, sustain, and mid to long range damage capabilities. Reduce the healing over time provided after detonating sparks from 10 per second to 5 per second, so she gets half the passive healing. Cosmic Flames damage fall off. Adjust maximum damage fall off at 30 meters from 75% fall off to 65% fall off. The distance to KO a 250 health enemy with 2 critical hits is shortened from 18 meters to 16 meters. At maximum fall off, single hit damage is reduced from 45 to 39. The number of hits required to KO a 250 health enemy is increased from 5 to 6. The big change here isn't so much her damage, although less damage, you'll definitely feel it. The big change is the healing, because part of what makes Jean so hard to kill as a diver is the fact that she can heal herself so easily, and she can just kind of heal herself outside of some of their one-shot combos, or if they have to stay in a little bit, she gets just that extra little second or two to finish them off. Now, that's not really what she's going to be doing. She's going to not be nearly as self-reliant. And she's going to be a glass cannon. Like, seriously a glass cannon. Because I don't think 5 per second is enough to get her outside of, like, Spider-Man combos or anything like that. You burn her shift, and she's a sitting duck. She needed the nerf, though. Like, the change that they made was supposed to be a side grade change, and it ended up being a buff. I understand what they were doing. They made her very slightly worse in Brawl, but her straight-up poke potential, which was already good, just went through the roof, and she became a better poke character than Hela, which is the poke character. No Black Widow changes, obviously, because we passed her in the alphabetically already. Star-Lord. Time to get a little closer for those legendary plays. Peter's baseline mid to long range damage capabilities are getting toned down. Element guns damage fall off. Adjust maximum damage fall off at 25 meters from 65% to 50%. this does not affect his ultimate ability. I don't think his ultimate has damage fall off. So when he's poking at you from afar, he's going to do way less damage. Basically, he has to play in close.
They're turning him into more of a...
He's kind of Psylocke-esque.
Yeah, which he already was, but you have to get close, because if you're shooting, like here, I'm shooting at this Luna, I'm not going to be doing much at all between damage fall off and spread. I mean, that's 2 clips, she's at half health.
Yeah.
And it made sense that he was more of a close-up character anyways, because of his spread, regardless of damage.
Here's the big change that will happen. Sometimes when you're playing Star-Lord or Psylocke, what you'll do, just kind of in the downtime, because your ult is so good, you'll find yourself poking at the tanks from a distance, just slowly building your ult charge while you wait for an opportunity to make a play or in your proper range. So he will... I'm sick of you shooting me. He will not get nearly as much ult charge from poking tanks. So that's important.
So basically, they're encouraging more active play and less poking at close range, or poking in mid-range in a brawl comp, basically.
Combine last season's change with this season's change, and what they did is they made him not as good at range, but even better up close. So they made him a little bit more focused. He's probably not in argument for best duelist in the game anymore. He's still definitely going to be an S tier pick, though. Adam Warlock. The Golden Gladiator's Cosmic Karma flows more smoothly. We're slightly increasing Adam's damage to healing conversion efficiency. Increase Avatar Livestream charge time reduction when Cosmic Cluster hits enemies from 0.48 seconds per hit to 0.6 seconds per hit. So that's his right click, I believe.
Yeah, that's his Cosmic Cluster is his right click.
Where there is evil
each hit
in this
reduces
universe,
the
I
E,
will
the
be
healing
there to
ability,
balance
charge
it.
time. So if I... Yeah, I didn't get what the numbers were, but it doesn't add a lot.
So if you can consistently land your right clicks, you'll have... I think 2 support Adam might be viable if you can seriously land your right clicks. Right clicks and left click headshots give you more healing.
Yeah, so if I heal,
I think,
and then fire a full burst of right clicks, I get a charge back.
2 support Adam, like that's already, it's going up by like 20%. So,
Yeah, basically, if you heal and then use a full burst, fully charged right click, you get a charge back if you land all your shots.
That's
It's
already
not
how
exact,
it is.
But that's already how it is. So you're going to be helping that along even more. And honestly, I think that's a good change for Adam, because the biggest problem with Adam has been for a long time that he's not the greatest healer. He can be irritating to play against, but he's really more of a damage dealer. I mean, 2-tap headshot on a Luna gets her to pretty low. If it's a 250, or I can't remember, did Luna get changed to 250 or she's 275?
He's still 275. Always has been.
Yeah, there was a while there that I wasn't paying attention, so I thought I'd double check. So, like, who's a 250?
Mantis.
What does that leave her with?
5'10", somewhere around there.
But this was my only choice.
Probably 10.
Destiny was not kind to you.
Yeah, it's pretty close. Probably.
You were outmatched.
It's not much, I can tell you that. So, I think that's a good change for Adam.
So a couple of seasons ago, he was a team-up anchor with Luna that gave his snaps extra healing. It was like 10% extra healing or 50%. They took away his team-up anchor and did not give him back his healing.
Ah.
But it was still, he still had downtime, but he could at least snap you basically back to full with a single snap.
And they added this.
Mm-hmm.
So.
But now if you can land your left clicks and your right clicks, I think 2 support Adam can work if your Adam's absolutely cracked. And it closes the gap that he had between him and the other triple supports. because that's another thing. Mantis and Ultron have been so good. I have Adam in like C or D tier, not because he's a bad character, but just because why are you not playing either Mantis or Ultron, if not both? The only reason to play him was for his ultimate.
Rise, my friends!
So he's still going to be triple support preferred, kind of like Mantis is. But I think Ultron is the only triple support exclusive healer at this point. As long as your Adam is really stinking good.
Yeah, and that's obviously the thing, because you have to land your shots in order for Adam to get a benefit from it.
Cloak and Dagger. The Divine Duo brings even more light to the shadows. Cloak and Dagger are seeing an increase in baseline healing capabilities. When Light Force Dagger directly hits allies, reduce single target healing from 6 to 12, and increase spell field healing from 16 to 20. For directly hit teammates, the healing remains the same, but AoE healing is increased. So if you're landing your left clicks on a single target, you won't feel the difference, but the people who get healed around the left click target will feel it. Increase healing boost ratio provided by Veil of Light Force ability from 15% to 20%. That is actually really important because, and it's still going to be this way, I'll be honest, but the blind from Cloak was so much better than the blanket from Dagger. So that is going to buff the blanket while keeping the utility of the blind. And that will help her heal like huge groups of enemies. When your whole team is in front of you and low, she can just E the whole team. Maybe throw a bubble, or at least like left click. Her E plus left click will be better, and she can keep her bubble for herself if she gets stoked.
Right. And I think that's really what you're going for, because a lot of times when you're playing as Cloak and Dagger, at least from what I remember, a lot of times when you're in a team fight, you want to just throw your Veil and try to keep the bubble. Sometimes you might need to throw the bubble, like if they're taking a ton of damage and the Veil wears off, but I mean, you have 2 charges of the Veil, so.
The problem is, unless they're playing zero dive, you kind of need to save the bubble for yourself at all times.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You just use your charges of the Veil to keep your team up.
Makes her a little bit better at heal botting, which, I mean, whatever. She was already a heal bot, kind of. Deadpool strat. The Merc with a Mouth is handing out even more band-aids. Wade is seeing a slight increase in his baseline healing capabilities. In gun form, increase bouncing bobblehead continuous healing provided by the spell field from 40 per second to 50 per second, and from 50 per second to 55 per second upgraded. Bouncing bobblehead is his right click, I believe.
It's Deadpool time, kiddos!
Hold on, I need to
Let's f***ing go!
level up here.
I wouldn't get back up if I were you. Looks like we've got ourselves a
Yep, bouncing
party.
bobblehead is right click. So his right click is better. Fair. He was kind of right on the edge of being good into support. I think that probably makes it good enough, even though it's barely a change. The other thing is, because it's increased by standard, I wonder if that will help him level up faster. Because he could do 10 extra health per second when it's not upgraded. I wonder if that will help him do more, level up faster when he's early in the match. Gambit. The Ragin' Cajun's biggest hand is losing a bit of its sting. We've reduced the offensive capabilities of Gambit's ultimate. Reduced bonus damage multiplier provided by Ragin' Royal Flush from 25% to 20%. Reduced the movement speed bonus from 40% to 30%. I mean, he's still the best strategist in the game.
It's helping to bring him in line.
It's definitely a step in the right direction. Like, it was needed. Absolutely, it was needed. Oh, here's the other thing. This is another reason to ban Gambit. Team-up abilities adjusted or removed. Explosive Entanglement, Gambit, Magneto, Rogue. This was the best team-up in the game. Like, this team-up alone was arguably bannable. Never mind the fact that Gambit was bannable. The mutant drama is cooling down just a bit. Reduce the healing and damage provided by hearts as 1 for Rogue. Reduce the percentage damage dealt per attack from 3% to 2%. Reduce the spell field healing provided per attack from 55 to 25. Much better. Much better. 30% less damage increase on Rogue team up. And like half the healing. A little under half the healing. Okay, we got 2 strategists left. Gambit, it doesn't... I'm going to say it. Gambit doesn't have to be banned. But there are plenty of times you're still going to want to ban him, and it's not a bad ban.
Yeah, we'll have to see how it works, because it's hard to tell just by hearing the numbers. We'll have to see it in practice.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like it'll be about right, that he'll still be really good, but not busted. Because the biggest reason that he was busted was his ultimate, and then the team-up, because Rogue with the team-up was insanely good.
Look, he's doing... the damage boost is being decreased by about 20%, and the speed bonus is being decreased by 25%. That's from what its previous percentage boosts were. So his ult is basically about 20 to 25% worse, roughly. It still does everything and the kitchen sink, but I think if he gets through the ban phase, it's not going to kill you. The biggest thing to me is, do you have to play mirror gambits in order to still pull off a win? Or can you play something that isn't just gambit plus in order to beat the team that's playing gambit plus?
Yeah, because that really has been the case. It's the same thing with Dino. When Dino came out, it's, you have Dino, you win. If the other team has Dino, you lose. If you both have Dino, well, you have a chance. It's the same with Gambit.
White Fox, they're nerfing her charm. Amihan's mystical charms are... Oh, wait, I gotta go do Ultron first. We'll do Ultron first. I'm going alphabetical. The Age of Ultron is facing some minor technical difficulties. Ultron's drone coverage range is taking a hit to lower the buff capabilities provided to allies, and we're reducing his ultimate ability charge speed. Reduce Imperative Patch, maximum drone attach distance from 35 meters to 30 meters, so he has to be closer to the people who are getting patched. Increase Imperative Firewall cooldown from 10 seconds to 12 seconds. That's his damage boost, movement speed boost, and shield buff provision. That's his big ally buffing ability. So he can buff them less often. Increase the energy cost of Rage of Ultron ultimate ability from 4,000 to 4,300. So Ultron is still going to be great in triple support. And of course, he's still going to be great with Mantis, but that will kind of take the edge off of Ultron Mantis a little bit, especially since Ultron's damage boost is higher than Mantis's now. Mantis can keep hers up, but Ultron over-buffing them is going to happen less often. They're not going to get shields as often, and you'll have to be closer to keep them healed or buffing their damage or whatever. And it's going to take him longer to get his ult, which is a really good ult. Now, White Fox... her crowd control capabilities are being slightly reduced. Reduce the charm and invincibility spell field radius of Spectral Surge from 0.8 meters to 0.6 meters. So 25% reduction in hitbox size. So she's going to have to be more precise with how she lands her right click. It's going to make the right click a little bit less irritating. I think at some point they're going to have to touch some of her cooldowns.
One hostile down.
It's going to make playing into her less annoying for when you get charmed, because you'll just get charmed very slightly less. And that, like, as a Hulk player, you know how that feels. Jump in, get charmed, can't leave, die. Right?
Yep. Yeah, it was a pain, and the charm could be really irritating, especially as certain characters. I'm not the greatest dive player, but what little I tried, and especially as a dive tank, just the charm was an absolute pain.
Triple strike, clean and precise.
So those are your patch notes. What are your thoughts on the patch, bro?
I feel like we took a step in the right direction. Some of the most broken characters that needed to be nerfed got nerfed.
Daredevil got nerfed. It wasn't a huge nerf, but he needed to be detuned a little bit. He got it. Black Cat got seriously hit. But she's still going to be really good, but at least she won't be that good.
And then, of course, Dino.
Devil Dino got brought down. Gambit got brought down. All the problem characters got brought down, except for Elsa Bloodstone.
She got nerfed. That's the biggest thing I'm concerned about.
She got buffed.
Or yeah, buffed.
Guys who
I
just
meant
showed
buffed.
their stupid
Yeah, that's the biggest
faces.
thing I'm concerned about. I mean, again, we'll have to see what happens in practice, but
My meter's full.
I'm not expecting it to be a good thing.
I think Elsa, especially with the other characters not being as necessary of a ban now, I think she goes back to being the best DPS in the game and permaban. But you know what the best thing about this is?
Here comes Headpool.
We'll see how good Cyclops is.
Make a killer team.
But there were like 5 characters that you would ideally want to ban every single match before this patch. It was Gambit, Cat, Dino, Daredevil, Jean, and then your choice of a 6th ban. Like Star-Lord, Invis, White Fox, Elsa, Luna, Groot. So you basically had 5 ban slots spoken for if you're going strictly on meta
Just showed their
bans.
stupid faces.
There's a flying dinosaur in the training.
Yes, there is. No ability cooldown. It's a weird thing.
So we went from 5 must ban to follow meta bans to like 2. Cat is still going to be like they're all still going to be pretty good bans. We'll see what happens with Dino. He did get hit pretty hard, and Jean got hit pretty hard. I think Gambit is still going to be a character you want to ban all the time, and probably Elsa. But, 1 or 2, you can work with that. If there's 1 or 2 toxic characters, you can make that work. And the season will be a lot healthier for it. I don't know why they buffed Elsa. Like, why? Okay, so
Looks like
before
we've
we
got ourselves
stop,
a
let's cover Cyclops. So there won't be anything to really show here in terms of like footage or whatever, because obviously we can't play Cyclops yet, not until Friday. But I'll just go over the math that I did earlier, because I broke down numerically all of his abilities and how they work. So I gathered all this information from the trailer. It's mostly correct, but I'm sure there's a couple of details that are just a little off. So Cyclops is a 270 HP duelist, 275 HP duelist. That puts him in line with most duelists, I think, right?
Yeah, probably. At least a lot of them.
Movement speed appears to be the standard 6 meters per second, or 600 units of speed. That's what basically everybody moves at unless they have a speed buff. The jump also appears to be standard height and gravity and all that. His primary fire is a hit scan single shot. Does what I calculated to be 60 damage with a crit potential. There's a clip in the trailer where he crits the Wolverine, and I think it did about 120 damage, which would mean that it was a 60 damage bolt. So we're looking at 3 tapping squishy targets with,
Okay.
you gotta land your...
How frequent is his firing? I haven't looked at the release trailer.
It's not that frequent. It's not like bang, 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 bang. I'd say it's a little slower than Hela.
So, slower than this. Probably more like that. You're not in game, so you're not looking.
I'm looking. That's about right, I think. Obviously it can crit. There's probably damage fall off numbers on it. I can't calculate that.
Yeah.
He has 8 shots in a magazine. He has to reload his eyes. That's okay.
Namor can get unlimited tridents out of his back pocket, but Cyclops needs to reload his eyes.
And Groot reloads his arms.
Yeah, reloads his arms. That actually makes a little bit of sense because Groot, like, he grows stuff out of his arms. Like,
okay, the secondary fire is a damage over time beam. Think like Iron Man beam, kind of thing. It's on a separate clip from his primary fire, kind of like Rocket's. Rocket has 2 modes of fire. They're in 2 separate clips. Damage over time ricochets to nearby targets. It appears to also ricochet off of the environment once to reach a nearby target. But now I didn't actually run the numbers on this because it was too hard to. But it looked like every ricochet had a damage reduction from the previous target. So each subsequent bounce does less and less damage. Also, there's a clip where he's holding his alt fire and hovering in the air. He uses his F ability to get up there. So I'm not sure whether it's his F ability that makes him hover in the air or if it's his alt fire that makes him hover in the air. But he is hovering in that clip. However, as someone who makes a living out of killing squirrel girls, that's not necessarily a cracked ability. You're going to want to be careful using that. His left shift is a dash backwards that pushes away any enemies your cursor is on and does a small amount of damage as it pushes them back. It's a 12-second single cooldown movement ability. So after you cast it, you have to wait 12 seconds before you can cast it again. His F ability is an upwards dash, again, the hover thing I mentioned, and it's also a 12-second single cooldown. Basically, he's got movement tools, but they're on long cooldowns, and they're both single cast. So what seems to be the case is I think he's going to be easily diveable, arguably more than Hela. He'll be more maneuverable, but his E ability is it's got 2 charges on it. It's an auto-aim ricochet shot that appears to do about 50 to 60 damage. It cannot crit because it aims for you. There's 2 charges on it, like I said. 3 seconds between charge uses, kind of like Hulk's clap, so you can't just sit there and spam it. You can't double tap it to burst out 120 damage. It can ricochet off of walls and other solid objects. So if you like hit the ground in a crowd, it'll spread out to the crowd.
interesting.
And finally, his ultimate appears to have infinite range in front of him in a line. It has a short startup time, but it's not instant cast, and it's not CC immune, which means that you can cancel his ultimate before he gets it off. It's a 2-part damage dealer with an initial burst that follows the beam and is basically instant as soon as the beam hits. And then the beam ignites the terrain wherever it hits the terrain, and there's a secondary explosion about a second after the optic blast that deals damage itself as well from the terrain. So I don't think he's going to be busted. He didn't look that busted in the trailer, but that remains to be seen. In terms of where he fits in the hit scan roster, like Hela is single target, Jean is anti-brawl. I think Cyclops is like multi-target with a bit more maneuverability and a bit less survivability. Oh, the other thing I missed, when he casts his E, he gets 25 overshield. So that gives him 300 overshield, or 300 total health. So I don't think he's going to be that hard to get rid of for an enemy team. I don't think he's going to do as much multi-target damage as a Moon Knight, a Squirrel Girl, or a Phoenix. And I don't think he's going to do as much single-target damage as a Hela. So he probably slides, ironically, somewhere between Phoenix and Hela. With some multi-target hit potential. He'll be cool to use, but I think he'll probably be mid to high A tier, not S tier or broken.
Well, we'll see, because it seems like every character that releases just ends up being insane.
White Fox was a high A tier when she released, and then she got buffed into being S tier. Because we can't have a suboptimal strategist. Anyways, that's everything. So, looking forward to Friday. I think, at the very least, I think the meta will be healthier than it is now. I don't think it's going to change much, but I think it's a better version of what we have now, which is a good thing, still.